Hey lovely people, welcome back. We are clearing codependency today, and it's something that's surprisingly common amongst many of my clients when I'm doing clearings. So set your intention to receive the benefits of this clearing, and let's get stuck in, shall we? Right, so we're doing codependency, so let's have a look. What's that running at? Codependency. It's running at about 5% positive and about 80% negative. And in terms of consciousness, we really are looking at incarnational levels. So let's get the teams, your high self teams, my God team that I'm working with, to clear that up to 100 positive, down to 0 negative, up to radiant love, new paradigm level of consciousness there for your highest good. And we want everything in this system, no matter what it is, to be 100 positive, 0 negative. That's the way this particular system works. And we want everything ideally to be at radiant love, new paradigm level of consciousness, which is here as an absolute minimum radiant love. So here's a lot of where the blocks are. Sometimes they're lower as well. They fall into dark angels. I think there's various, there's dark angels, there's the deceivers, there's some that have no names. And we, if the dark angels, quite often I get, if there's a real major block in the flow of energy somewhere down here, then we have to do the clearing from a parallel universe perspective, and so it's cleared properly. Really, it's just a different perspective. I'm not sure why. It just is more effective that way. So, but we're at incarnation level, which is sort of rock bottom in terms of this chart here. We want to be all the way up here, and once upon a time this used to be at the top, but because spirit is learning through all our experiences with consciousness expanding the way it is, then more dimensions are opening up as well. So we're taking the top of the other chart, which is here, and then we're all the way here. Plus it's something like, it was last time I checked, something like 120 something feet off the page there. So it won't be long before I think we have another third page on here as well. Everything's always changing, everything's always evolving, so systems need to evolve as well. So I'm only doing clearings, short group clearings using the SRT system. There are other systems that I use as well. But for the purpose of this, I'm using this chart. So we have an imprint, which is a strongly held belief of brain damage here. So we're just going to clear that away. And that can come at birth. The consciousness of the child, the baby, can pick up the thought processes. Cells talk to cells. It's all about the environment of the cell, epigenetics. And we can pick up fear even at that, early age. We can pick it up in the womb. The environment is such an important thing. If you think about a flower, you can put it in really rubbishy soil with no nutrients, or you can put it in beautiful, compost fueled soil with all the right feed, and it'll grow to a strong and beautiful flower. Or you can just leave the flower in really rubbishy soil, maybe never watering it, and it'll grow spindly and weak and easily broken. So environment is everything for our cells to thrive. So an imprint of brain damage, typically, you can pick it up from the doctors, from the nurses, from the midwives, from the parents' concerns. If I don't get this baby out in time, it might end up as brain damaged. What happens if it's not coming out? What happens if you have a long birth? Oh my God, So all this stuff gets fed back. Sometimes it can be from other lifetimes experiences as well. If you may have had some kind of brain challenge in another lifetime, and somehow you've brought that energy through, or ancestral as well. But imprints are basically strongly held beliefs, so it's good to get those cleared out. And it's obviously relating to this clearing, which is on codependency. And people are more codependent than they realise as well. So Right, clearing away. Okay, where are we going next? We're going to 6A, which is master programs. Let's see what comes up under master programs. Outside left. Fear. Inside left. Apathy. Inside left. Abandonment. Inside left. Appeasement. Yeah, classic ones. Anything else? No. Do they have past life and ancestral roots? They do. We're just going to clear them all of those master programs and any discordant energy of those as well on the same vibration at all levels of consciousness on chart 3, clearing away from you. Right, okay. Now where are we going? 6B, which is blocks to positive expression. Let's have a look and see what blocks are running in connection with this. Outside left. Vitality. Outside left. Strength. Outside left. Empowerment. Inside right. Abundance. Let's get all those cleared away from you, all those blocks there, for your highest good. So codependency always comes from a need. So it's something that you feel that you're lacking in some way, that you're getting from something external, someone external to yourself. So that you're dependent on someone in some way, or dependent on their actions in some way. It means that you have an underlying need. You feel that you're missing something at some level, at a subconscious level usually, but there's a lack. And it's not always a very obvious one. And we all run it at different levels, at varying levels. A lot of it is we're brought up in a certain cultural way to expect certain things from people. And we can dress it up as courtesy and politeness. And courtesy and politeness, I think, is important in a society anyway. However, we can become almost obsessed by it sometimes, or take great offence at it culturally, and if we don't get our expectations met. So it's worth just going within sometimes and asking, do I need this from this person? And if the answer is yes, then maybe have a look at the intention. Why? What is the intention behind needing this? What does it bring to you? What is the judgment there? Why are you judging? Well, they haven't brought this to me, they haven't met my expectation. So what is the judgment? What is the intention underlying there? Two very important questions. It's very enlightening then to see where it's from. And then that'll take you down. If you keep feeling about, well, what does that bring me? Then why do I need that? You know, what's the worst thing about not having that? Eventually it'll take you to what the lack is, what the root is, what you feel that, what the perception is that you feel that you're missing. So we're at 10A now, which is miscellaneous blocks at a God level. We've got inhibitors, which we're clearing, which is great. So let's clear all inhibitors there. Good to get those out of the way. Inhibitors stifle emotional responses, and they were put in a long, long time ago for a particular reason within our energy fields, when everything got a bit out of hand, shall we say. But we don't need them now. As we are evolving in our consciousness, we don't need those inhibitors anymore. We allow ourselves to feel fully and deal with it, respond rather than overreact. Right. So 14 is the pre-fall of consciousness creating the illusion. Here we have animal consciousness programs and conscious mind programs type 1, which we're just going to clear. Animal consciousness programs can come through the 2600 pathways. It's a pathway of evolution that I've found that the vast majority of us take, which is through the animal kingdom. So upon incarnating, we adopted the belief that we are animals in nature, and those beliefs have caused us difficulties, pain, and all the inherent ills and problems of the human condition. These are the animal consciousness programs. And if you have evolved from some form of animal, you may be carrying a discordant energy from that experience as well, depending on your beliefs. If you don't believe that, that's fine. Certainly that's what's in this system. And it's certainly something that I've personally experienced as well, both personally and with clients, that we can be carrying some of the old programs in our energy fields that we weren't aware of from stages of our evolution, soul evolution. Right, okay. And there's lots of other things to take into account. There's the collective consciousness, there's morphogenetic fields, there's all sorts of things, cultural, ancestral. Final forgiveness, we're on chart 28. So we're clearing memory impingements connected to this issue, releasing anger at all levels of consciousness. So let's do that. Let's release anger at all levels of consciousness. And remember, if you experience anything after watching these videos that feels odd or have some sensations, whatever they are, if you don't have any, doesn't mean to say it hasn't worked. It's just that maybe there's nothing major there, or you're not overly sensitive or whatever. Some people feel everything. If you do experience things, it's the old neural pathways falling away. So as they fall away, you will experience some of those emotional attachments, some of those feelings attached to those old neural pathways as they fall away. So usually by day 4, so if this is day 1, usually by day 4, everything is settled. Everything's sort of found an equilibrium. And I've found that with my other work as well, in clearing people's subconscious beliefs and feelings. Excuse me. The same thing happens. So obviously something clearing within me right now because I've got a frog in my throat. Something coming through the throat chakra. Clearing away. Releasing all that anger at all levels, all those memory impingements as well, all connected with codependency. Right, that's slowing down then. I think we're probably at the end. Let's just see if there's anything else before mop up. No. So let's go to mop up. Let's do a quick mop up for all of you lovely people by your teams, which is where the bulk of the clearing takes place. So if you're a dowser, using your pendulum or rods or whatever, or if you're a self-muscle tester, and I've got videos on both, and then here's 3 questions you can use for anything really. The first question is, am I in full alignment with my highest good for X, whatever it is? Am I in full alignment with my highest good for whatever it is? That could be an event, it can be a decision, it can be food, it can be anything. Okay. The second question is my heart fully open for whatever it is? Is my heart fully open for whatever it is? And you can get a yes or no response. And then if you're dowsing with the pendulum or rods, what percentage is my heart open for X? What percentage is my heart open for X, whatever that is? Whether it's love or romance or food or a decision or an event, whatever, or receiving or healing. So it's always worth looking at, and you can, even the percentage one, you can use your body for that. So good old-fashioned kinesiology by muscle testing, and it will just get weak. You can just go through all the numbers for the percentages, and you'll start to fall forward if you're standing up at a certain number, or you'll feel if you're using your hands to test, it'll be weaker. Making a circle, it'll be weaker here when you muscle test it, when you get to the right number, or stronger, whatever. So they're useful 3 questions. Still clearing away in the mop-up process. Oh, we're nearly there. Right, are we done? Yeah. Soul happy, high self team's happy. Yeah, it feels much lighter. And what are we at now for codependency? 100 positive, 0 negative. Really, really quite a significant difference. I can feel the energy shift in this one. Yeah. So at radiant love, new paradigm, level of consciousness. And there you go, once again, another clearing for you. So remember, drink plenty of water, have plenty of rest. Don't try and cram all these clearings in all at once, because your body's got to be clearing stuff out of cells over here, cells over there, and it can be a bit overwhelming for the body sometimes. So if you can, give 3 to 4 days break in between, ideally, or do a couple of these short clearings and then have 3 to 4 days break in between. Okay, so sending you enormous love, and see you on the next video. Thanks again for everything.